If you have a block, grab that, no worries if you don't. Maybe a blanket for the end, like Shavasana. We're gonna start today in a child's pose on your mat. Bring your knees as wide as your mat, your big toes to touch underneath you. Walk your hands forward. Let your forehead rest on the mat. Reach your fingertips as far as you can forward. Find a comfortable position, as wide as your knees want to go. And then take this moment to find some grounding stillness on your mat. Taking this time to settle down, connect with the earth. Let go of anything else going on in your mind, anything else going on in your day. Take this time to relax. Tune into yourself, however you are feeling. Dedicating the next 60 minutes to yourself. Thanking yourself for showing up on the mat. Engage that ujjayi breathing in and out of the nostrils. Lips can stay closed. Try and make that ocean sound with the back of your throat. Forces our focus internal. Helps us stay grounded and connected. And then slowly we'll walk those hands over to the right. Both hands over to the right in child's pose. Try to keep your left hip from lifting off the mat. Reach through those left fingertips. Feel it stretch through your shoulder, through your rib cage, down to that hip bone. And then take those hands, walk them through center over to the left. Reach through the right fingertips this time. Feel the stretch go all the way down the arm, down through the rib cage. Into the right hip. Try to keep the right hip from lifting. Let the head be comfortable on the mat. All right, bring those hands slowly back to center. Push up to little tabletop. Hands right under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And take your cat-cow here. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze goes up. We're warming up the spine. When you're ready, exhale, arch the spine. Let the head hang heavy. Try to think about the movement starting at your low spine and then working upwards to your head. Trying to follow the breath. Inhale, gaze goes up. Exhale, gaze goes down. Maybe bending the elbows, maybe closing the eyes, just feeling out the spine. And then take those hands a little bit farther in front of where they are right now. We'll take a few hip circles, big wide hip circles, coming as far over to the side on your mat as you want. Back to child's pose, coming forward. Go both directions. Just listening to your body, taking note of where your spine's at. And then we'll bring those hands back to tabletop. Wrist stack right under the shoulders. And we're going to start by bending our right knee. Take the knee out to the side 90 degrees to the floor. And we'll take some hip circles with that knee bent, opening up the hip. Working your glutes too. Just breathe into it too. A couple circles both directions. All right, and then we're going to shoot that right heel towards the back of the room and then drop the right foot over to the left. Gaze goes over your left shoulder. You're straight in the right leg. Try and find your foot. Feel that side body stretch from the neck all the way to the heel. And then we'll come back to center. Right knee goes to meet the left. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Pick up that left leg and take some hip circles. Go both directions. You can flex the left toes back towards the face to protect the knee. And then that left heel goes to the back of the room, straighten the leg, and then put the foot over to the right. Gaze goes over your right shoulder. Try and find that left foot. Side body stretch through the neck, through the rib cage, through the hip, to the heel. All right, left knee goes back to meet the right. We're gonna push back and sit on our shins for a little bit. We'll take a wrist stretch here. We're gonna do a counter stretch for the wrists. Press the back of the wrists together. And then you might feel some opening in the quad if you're sitting here. If you want, you can come up onto the toes and then sink your weight back onto the toes to open the bottoms of your feet, if that's comfortable. You can take less weight off by coming up onto the knees or put more weight on the balls of the feet. And then we'll release those toes back flat on the mat. You're gonna bring your hands behind you, fingers face forward, and on an inhale, lift the hips to the sky. Feel the front of your shoulders open. You can drop your head back, open through the throat as well. Lift through the hips. And settle the hips back down. We're gonna take these feet out from under us. And coming into boat pose. So we'll start with the feet on the mat. Knees bent, and then bring your hands out to the sides. You can do palms facing in towards each other. Inhale to lengthen through the spine and then begin to lean back until your feet come off the mat. Dip those legs together. You're holding a boat pose. And then we're going to inhale to lengthen the spine to the floor. And exhale, crunch back up. So these are also at your own pace. Go slow and controlled, warming up that core. Inhale long, exhale to lift you back up. Go at your own pace. A few more. Keep warming up that core. Again, the slower you go, the harder it is. Try and use that really powerful exhale to lift you back up. The whole core is working. Last couple. And then when you get to the top, let's drop the left leg to the floor. You're gonna grab your right foot with the left hand. So right foot, left hand, begin to straighten into the right leg. And then you're gonna pull your right leg over to the left. Inhale the right hand high to the sky, and then your right hand drops behind you. You're in a little bit of a spinal twist. But we're really stretching the outside of this right leg. So keep pulling your right foot over to the left. Your gaze can track your right shoulder. All right, we're gonna come back to center. Take your right ankle, put it on top of that left knee. So you're gonna bend the left knee towards your body. Coming into a seated figure 4. So now we're stretching our glute on the right side. What I like to do here is press my fists into the mat to lift my hips off the mat, and then I can go forwards and backwards, getting the right angle that feels good for that quad, or that glute stretch on the right side. So you're trying to get your shin to your chest and breathe into the glute. Support yourself with your hands. Try and be tall through the spine. So try and keep a straight back. All right, we'll release the right leg down to the mat, straighten that right leg, and then we're gonna do the same thing other side. Grab the outside of the left foot with the right hand. Straighten into that leg as much as you can. Pull the foot over to the right. Inhale, left hand to the sky, drops behind you. Gaze follows that left shoulder. Try and keep tall through that spine still, using your ujjayi breathing. All right, when you come back to center, figure 4, stretch other side. You're gonna bend that right knee towards the body. Let the left ankle land on the right knee. Figure 4, stretch other side. Breathe into the left side of that glute. You can pick up those hips again. Find the right angle that feels good for you. Trying to get that left shin close to the chest. Breathe into the hips. All right, we're gonna release out of that. Grab the back of your 2 thighs, rock and roll along your spine a couple times. As long as that feels okay. And we're gonna meet in a ragdoll pose. So you're gonna come all the way to standing hips, or feet hips width distance, but then we take a forward fold with our knees bent and let your belly hang out on the thighs. Let your head hang heavy. You can grab your elbows and sway side to side, releasing your low back. Ragdoll pose. So we're not really trying to stretch the legs here. We're trying to release the low back. Shake out that head, yes. Shake out that head, no. If it feels okay, you can try and straighten into one leg at a time, playing around with it. And then we'll slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Let your head be the last thing to come up. When we get to standing, we'll take a couple shoulder rolls, pull the shoulders up towards the ears, and then let them roll down back or down your spine. And then we'll meet in a tall standing mountain pose, feet under the hips. We'll inhale, bring the hands overhead, fingertips to touch. Exhale, we're gonna twist to the right, so your arms are gonna be straight. Left hand in front of you, right hand behind you. It's kind of hard, you can't see me. So we're standing with a right twist. Gaze goes over the right fingertips. Square your hips to the front of the room. Your hips didn't move. All right, inhale the hands back to center. Next exhale, twist to the left. So just the hands are moving. Left hand back, right hand forward. Gaze follows the left fingertips. Move your left hip back forward to the front of the room. Square the hips. We'll inhale back to center. Hands can come overhead. Take a small back bend. Reach the hands back. Let the head fall back. And then inhale back to center. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Lengthen the spine. Fingertips to the mat or your shins. And then exhale, plant the hands. We'll step back, plank pose. Hold plank for just a moment. All right, from here, you're gonna lift your right heel to the back of the room. Try and find some balance. Right heel goes to the back of the room, hold it here. Or left hand goes to the front of the room. Right foot, left hand, try and use your core. All right, drop both limbs, good job. Find that strong plank position, and then we do the same thing other side. Lift that left heel towards the back of the room. Right hand reaches forward like you're trying to shake someone's hand. Use that core. Nice job. Drop the hand and foot to the mat. Lower onto the belly. Let the hands be under the shoulders when you get down to the floor. Spread the feet as wide as your mat. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. And then we'll inhale, lift the chest, cobra pose. Try and keep those hands off the mat. And exhale, release. We're gonna do 2 more back bends here. Take a moment of rest. Either an ear can come to the mat or your chin. All right, the second back bend is gonna be Superman. So you're gonna bring your arms out in front of you. Hands reaching forward, feet reaching backwards. You're gonna try and use the strength of your low spine here. On an inhale, lift up, Superman pose. Chest lifts off the mat, thighs lift off the mat. Keep lifting, keep arching your back. Use your strength of those low spine muscles. Nice job, and release. Hands to the mat, ears to the mat, chin. However you're comfortable, take a rest. Maybe you bend the knees and windshield wiper the feet side to side. All right, third one, we'll come back to center. We're gonna go for full expression of bow pose. Bow pose is where you reach around and grab both feet. If bow pose is not in your practice today, do another Superman. When you're ready, when you have both feet in both hands, inhale, lifts you high to the sky. Lift the chest off the mat, lift the thighs off the mat. The harder you kick into your hands, the higher you'll go. Keep kicking, keep lifting. You're arching your back, using those muscles. Keep kicking. Nice job. Release everything to the mat. Hands come under the shoulders. Press back to a very slow child's pose. Counter stretch here, so go slow. Take a little child's pose, not for long. All right, from child's pose, we move through tabletop all the way to down dog position. First down dog of class. Lift those hips high to the sky. Spread your fingers as wide as you can on the mat. Press down through your palms. And then your heels don't have to be touching the mat in down dog, but you're reaching energy through the heels. They're trying to get there. And then your gaze is back between your ankles or your knees. Or if you can, try and lift your gaze all the way like you're trying to look at your belly button in down dog. All right, we'll inhale, right leg high to the sky. Exhale, right knee, right elbow, give it a little tap. And then inhale the leg long behind you. Next exhale, knee comes through center to the chest, down drop the foot, lift the knee really high, and then inhale the leg long behind you. Third exhale, knee goes across the body to the left elbow, give it a tap, and inhale the leg long. All right, fourth one, we're going all the way to 5-pointed star. So your right foot goes back over to the left, straighten into the right leg, left hand goes high to the sky, you're grounding through that right hand on the mat. Your right leg is straight, 5-pointed star or rock star pose. All right, nice job. Plant the left hand, meet back in down dog. Right foot returns to the mat to meet the left. And then inhale, left leg goes high to the sky, building heat here. Exhale, left knee, left elbow, give it a tap. Inhale that leg long behind you. Next exhale, knee to the chest, don't drop the foot, arch the spine, use the core. Inhale the leg high to the sky. Third exhale, knee goes across the body to the right elbow. Give it a tap, good job. Inhale that leg long. All right, next one, go all the way to 5-pointed star. So that left foot goes underneath you and then the left leg straightens. Right hand goes high to the sky. You're pressing into the outer edge of the left foot. Keep lifting the hips. Nice job. Return the right hand to the mat. Left foot goes back to meet the right. And then we're gonna walk our hands back to meet our feet. Walk your hands back on your mat. And we're gonna come into a forward fold pose here called gorilla pose. So you're gonna take your hands and take your hands under your feet until your toes get to your wrist crease. If that's uncomfortable, maybe you just grab your big toes with your 2 pointer fingers. When you're ready, inhale to find length in the spine. And then exhale, forward fold into gorilla pose. So this pose, you get to use the strength of your arms to pull you into this forward fold. Feel the back of your legs open up. Pull the belly button to the spine. Let your head hang down to the floor. Every exhale gets you a little deeper. Keep pulling on your arms to get into the stretch. All right, release those hands. Walk them back to down dog. Walk your hands back to the front of the mat. We'll inhale the right leg high to the sky. Exhale, we're gonna plant the right foot between the two hands. Drop the back knee. We'll meet in a low lunge. So low lunge, you can stay down with the hands on the mat. Maybe you press up into your knee, lifting the chest. We're opening the front of the hip flexor here on the left side. Breathe into that front of that hip. Again, hands can be on the mat or you can press your hands into your knee. I like to have my little prop here under my left hand to keep my chest lifted. Breathe into that psoas. Tuck your tailbone down to the earth to get deeper in the stretch. All right, next exhale, send your hips back towards your left heel, half splits. Straighten into that right leg. Flex the right toes towards your face. Maybe walk your right heel a little bit farther forward here so that your hips are stacked over that knee. Flex those right toes towards the face. Breathe into the back of that leg. If you want an IT band stretch, walk your hands over to the right. Feel it go a little bit more to the outside of that right leg. All right, bring your chest back to center. We're gonna come back forward to that low lunge. Tuck those back toes, and we lift up to a high lunge. Sweep the hands forward. Steady in this strong high lunge position. Deep bend in the front knee. Back leg is straight, so if you feel like your back knee is dropping to the floor, try and straighten into the back leg. And then we're gonna exhale, easy twist. So left hand goes to the inside of the right foot. Right hand goes high to the sky. Your chest goes over to face the right side of the room. Keep pressing down through the left hand. Gaze goes up to the right fingers. All right, from here, we're gonna do a big cartwheel all the way to warrior two. So our hands cartwheel up and over. You are facing the other side of the room now in warrior two. Your back toes are out at an angle. Your front knee is deep bend in that front knee. Make sure you can see your right big toe. Gaze over those right fingers. Deep bend in that front knee, don't lose it. Using the strength of the legs. And then inhale, reverse warrior, left hand down the leg, right hand high to the sky. Breathe into the rib cage on the right side. All right, cartwheel those hands back to the mat. You should be framing the right foot. Right foot goes back to meet the left. You can take it through Chaturanga Vinyasa and meet me in down dog. Exhaling lowers yourself to half push-up, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. When you get there, we'll take an inhale through the nose and we'll take an open mouth exhale, release some of that heat we built up. I cannot hear you, so don't worry about sounding funny. No worries. All right, inhale, left leg goes high to the sky. Exhale, brings the left foot to the front of the mat. Low lunge, drop the back knee. We're breathing into the front of the right hip this time. If you want to, so this is a low lunge when you're really kind of press your chest forward. But if we come out of this low lunge a little bit and then tuck your tailbone down towards the earth. So it's kind of like you're going into like cowboy butt where you're tilting your pelvis forward and then go back into this low lunge. It helps you really get into the psoas a lot better. Deep stretch in your groin, your hips, this front hip flexor. Use every exhale to settle a little deeper. Next exhale sends your hips back towards your right heel, straighten into the left leg, half splits. Flex those left toes towards the face. Walk that left heel just maybe an inch or two farther forward. On your mat, breathe into the back of the left leg. If you want that IT band stretch, you can walk those hands over to the left. You should feel it move to the outside of that left leg, down the quad. Keep your core engaged, so keep pulling your belly button to the spine. All right, come back to center with the hands. You're gonna bring that chest back forward to the low lunge, tuck those back toes under, and then lift up to high lunge. Deep bend in that front knee, you're on the ball of the back foot. Nice job, keep those strong legs here. And then when we exhale, easy twist, this time right hand goes on the inside of the left foot, left hand goes high to the sky. Adding a little bit of a spinal twist here, so gaze goes up to the left fingertips. You're still strong through that front leg. All right, we're gonna cartwheel those hands all the way open, warrior two, big cartwheel, now we're facing the other side of the room, nice job. Keep that deep bend in the front knee. Now your back toes are out at an angle, warrior two position. So heel to heel alignment. If there was lines on your mat, your heels would be in the same line. Front knee tracking out, make sure you push that knee over to the left. We inhale, reverse warrior, left hand high to the sky, right hand down the leg, or wraps around the low back. Breathe into the rib cage on the left side. All right, we cartwheel the hands to the floor, this time framing the left foot, strong through the shoulders. Left foot goes back to meet the right. Exhale, lower down, half push-up, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, thighs off the mat, shoulders out of the ears. Exhale, lift the hips to the sky, down dog. Again, maybe you want to take a nice big inhale through the nose, audible exhale out of the mouth, release that heat. All right, we're gonna bend our knees. Look at the space between the hands. On the bottom of an exhale, walk, step, or hop to the front of your mat. Maybe take some baby hops. See if you can get some hang time. Feet in the air. When you get there, inhale, hop, lift. Shine the heart forward. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we reverse swan dive all the way up to standing. Bring those hands overhead. Fingertips can touch. And exhale, hands through heart center, and then down by your side. Starting over, inhale, hands go overhead. Fingertips to touch. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, lengthen the spine, fingertips to the mat or your shins. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, plank pose, take it through chaturanga. In vinyasa, or skip it and meet me in down dog. All right, we're gonna drop our knees to the mat. We're gonna come into a quick shoulder stretch, puppy pose. So drop the knees to the mat. You want your hips to stay stacked over the knees. You're gonna walk your hands really far forward, let the forehead come down to the mat. It kind of feels like child's pose, but your hips are lifted, so don't let those hips go back to child's pose. This is puppy pose. It should open the front of your shoulders. Let the forehead rest on the mat. Last 2 breaths, just cooling down. All right, we'll lift back up, meet in table or down dog position. Find your nice sturdy down dog. Press those hands into the mat. Think about rolling your armpits in to face each other a little bit. So you're super strong in the shoulders. Again, gaze is back between the feet or the knees or the inner thighs. And then we'll inhale a right leg high to the sky. Exhale, knee to chest, plant the foot between the hands. We're gonna open up warrior one this time. So hands sweep forward for warrior one. Deep bend in that front knee as always. And then your back toes are out at an angle again. Compared to warrior two, your back toes are probably facing more forward for warrior one. We're gonna exhale, drop those hands behind us, clasp into the hands. If that's not accessible, just grab the elbows. Inhale, open the chest. And exhale, we're falling into humble warrior. So drop your chest to the inside of that right leg. You might have to move your back foot to find a nice stable leg position. Humble warrior, your chest goes to the inside of the left thigh, or right thigh. Try to bring your hands overhead to get a little bit of a shoulder stretch. Try to keep your right hip from swinging out to the right. That's what it wants to do. But try and keep those warrior one legs. All right, drop those hands to the mat. We're gonna straighten into the front leg, coming into pyramid pose. So straighten into the front leg. You might have to hop your back foot in a little bit. Pyramid pose usually has a shorter stance. You're gonna bring your chest to facing over the right leg. Inhale to find really nice big length in the spine. And then exhale, fold over the right leg, pyramid pose. Stretching out the back of the right leg, intense stretch. All right, we're gonna move into revolve triangle. So you're gonna take your left hand on the inside of the right foot. So this is a good pose. I have a block or a prop. Whatever you have, if you have something to place your left hand on, and then inhale the right hand high to the sky. So your chest is facing the right side of the room. We're in revolved triangle. So left hand can be on the inside of the right foot. Some people might even place their left hand on the outside of the right foot. Try and look at your gaze up towards the right fingers. Keep that balance. Keep your legs strong. Squeeze your glutes together. All right, nice job. Bring that chest back through center. We're gonna move all the way over to a wide-legged forward fold. So you're gonna come to pigeon toes. Bring your legs pretty wide on the mat. Bring your toes in to face each other closer than your heels. Inhale to find length. Exhale, forward fold. Let that head come to the top of the mat. Pull your belly button to the spine here. If you feel like your head is really far away from the mat, bring your feet wider. And if you feel like your head's really close to the mat and you can have a deeper stretch, bring your feet closer together. Play around with the weight in this pose. So move the weight into the balls of your feet. Maybe feel how it feels to lift the heels a little bit. Challenging your balance. Maybe one day coming to a headstand. All right, we're gonna bring the hands underneath us to lift the chest. And then we're gonna bend over to the right leg. So keep that left leg straight. We're gonna bend over to sitting on our right heel. Flying monkey pose. I call it just like a half squat. So we're over on the right side. Your right heel can be down on the mat. It'll be different for everyone, or some people might be up on their toes on their right foot. You're breathing into the hips here. Open the hips. You can keep the chest lifted. If you want to challenge your balance, you'll be up on that right toe. Hands come to heart center. Prayer hands. Keep breathing. Use that Ujjayi breath. And then your challenge here is to go as slow and controlled and stay as low as the floor as you can, going over to the left foot. Same thing, other side. Straighten into that right foot. Now your right heel might be on the ground, or that entire right foot might be on the ground. It'll be different for everyone. Breathe into the hips, really opening the groin. Yes, if you want to bring those hands to heart center, that's a nice practice. All right, return to facing the front of your mat. Hands land to frame the foot. We'll meet back in down dog. You can take it through vinyasa. Exhaling through half push-up chaturanga. Inhale up dog. Exhale down dog. Nice job there. Inhale, left foot goes high to the sky. Same thing, other side. Exhale, knee to chest, plant the foot in between the hands. We inhale, sweep the hands forward. Warrior one. Back toes out at an angle. Make sure you can see that big toe again on the left foot, so track that knee out. And then exhale, we drop the hands behind us. Maybe you grab the hands, maybe you grab the elbows. It forces you to open the chest, pull those shoulders back. And then exhale, humble your warrior. Let the chest fall to the inside of the left leg. Try and pull those shoulders or your hands over your shoulders. Let your head hang heavy here. You don't have to hold up your neck. Let the head release. Pull your belly button to the spine. Make sure your left hip doesn't shoot out to the left. Strong warrior one legs. All right, drop those hands to the floor. We're gonna straighten into both legs for pyramid pose. I like to walk my back foot in a little bit, shorter stance for pyramid pose. When you get there, inhale, lift the chest, find length. Exhale, forward fold over your left leg, pyramid pose. Breathe into the back of the left leg. You can do that again a couple times if it feels good, inhaling to find length and exhaling to fold, every time getting a little deeper, just using your breath. All right, setting up for revolved triangle. Right hand goes to the inside of the left foot. Inhale, swing that left hand high to the sky. Gaze goes over to the left. Keep those strong legs. Try not to lose your balance. Squeeze your glutes together. Pressing down through the left hand or right hand, up through the right hand. All right, and then we turn all the way to that wide-legged forward fold. So swing your chest around, bring your toes into a pigeon toe position. When you get there, inhale, find your length in the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Let the head come to the mat. Find that feet position. Maybe you need to take it a little wider, a little closer together for wide-legged forward fold. Maybe if you want a shoulder stretch, you can bring your hands clasped together overhead. Let the hands fall to the floor. All right, release out of that. We're gonna fold over to that left foot, flying monkey, same pose we did last time. We'll bend over to the left first, and then straighten that right leg. So this pose will be different for a lot of people, but the sensation is we're opening the hips, we're challenging our balance. So your right foot or your left foot might be all the way down on the mat, or you might be up on those toes. Maybe your hands come to heart center to test your balance. Keep breathing, lifting through the chest, lifting through the heart space. All right, slow and controlled, we move over to the right foot. Try and stay low to the ground. Same pose, other side. Now you're on the right heel, left leg straight. Breathe into the tension spots. Find some release, find the stretch. All right, find the front of your mat. Plant those hands, nice strong through the shoulders. Take it through Vinyasa or meet me in down dog. All right, when you get there, we're gonna come into pigeon pose. So inhale the right leg high to the sky, and then bring your right knee to behind the right wrist. Lay that shin down as high to the front of the mat as you can. Walk your back leg down the mat. First, you're gonna press your hands into the mat. You're gonna lift nice and tall through the spine. And then exhale, let the chest come down to the floor for pigeon pose. Maybe you come down to that prop if you have a block. Maybe both forearms come down to the mat. Relaxing into pigeon pose. If it hurts your knee, don't do pigeon pose. Roll onto your back. And take a supine figure four. Releasing all the tension out of your body in this pose. So it's more than just your hip. Take notice of your shoulders, the eyes, or the space around your eyes, your jaw. Wherever you might hold tension besides just that hip that we're stretching out. Try and fully relax into this pose. All right, lift that chest, push those hands back towards the body. You're gonna roll onto that right hip, kind of rolling over to the right, and then swing your left leg all the way around, and then coming into full expression of pigeon or fire log pose. You're gonna try and stack that left foot on top of the right knee, and then the left knee will drop to that right ankle. Trying to reduce the space between the ankles and knees. Should feel stretch on both sides of the hips right now. And if you're in this pose and it feels okay, you can begin to reach the hands forward, getting into the hips a little more. If that's enough, just stay with the chest lifted. Breathe into your hips. Fire log pose. Hip stack or ankle stacked on knees. Knees stacked on ankle. Relax into it. Breathe into the hips. All right, we're gonna release out of that. We have to make our way back to down dog to get into the other side. So turn yourself around on your mat. And then you can go through down dog to get back to pigeon pose on the other side, bringing that left knee to behind the left wrist. Walk your right leg back down the mat. Press your hands into the mat to lift the chest. Find some length in the spine. Breathe into the front of the right hip flexor. And then slowly release down to the mat. Settle into pigeon pose. Same thing, other side. Release everything, all the tension. All right, we're gonna push those hands back up to lift the chest. Move your weight over to that left hip. Swing that right foot all the way around until the right ankle lands on the right or on the left knee. Coming into that full expression of pigeon pose. Try to stack the right knee on top of the left foot. If there's a lot of space here, you can grab like a blanket or a block and kind of help to prop that up. Breathing into both hips at the same time here. And if that feels good, walk the hands forward onto the mat or onto the floor in front of you. All right, lift that chest. We'll come out of it. We're gonna do one last hip opener. We're gonna come into frog pose. So it's a funky pose. You gotta rearrange yourself on your mat. You're gonna bring your knees really wide. Let your shins, the insides of those shins, press into the mat. Maybe have a blanket if it hurts your knees. And then you're gonna start with your hands pressed into the mat. Keep that chest lifted. You'll feel that stretch there. You can lower down to the forearms if you want. And then you can also move your hips forwards and backwards in frog pose. There's a lot of different angles that you could be stretching. So find one that feels good and hold on to it for a while. Keep breathing into those hips. Maybe find another spot, a different angle. Maybe coming up or down from the forearms. Move those hips front or back. It's a pretty intense stretch, so take your time, move slow. Okay, we're gonna slowly come out of it. So press the hands into the floor to lift the chest, take some of the weight off the knees, bring those knees together, moving slow to get out of it, and then we'll meet lying on our backs. Slowly make your way down to your back on your mat. When you get there, hug those knees to the chest, give yourself a little hug. Maybe rock side to side. All right, and then we're gonna move into a supine twist. Drop those knees over to the right. So when you drop your knees over to the right, press your feet into the mat and lift your hips back towards the center of the mat. Left hip tries to stack directly on top of the right. And then wiggle your shoulder blades up the mat so you're still long through the spine. And then gaze goes over to the left. Supine twist. Relax down to the mat. Slowing down our practice, coming back down to our mat, feeling grounded, feeling peaceful, calm. Okay, very slowly we'll make our way back to center with the knees. Find some symmetry on your mat. And then you're gonna you can bring the knees to the chest first and then drop them over to the left. Again, maybe pick up those hips, move them back to the center of the mat. What that does is it allows you to get that right hip to stack right on top of the left. Shoulder blades go long up the mat. You want to be long in the spine, and then you're twisting. Supine twist, gaze goes right. Maybe wrap your top leg around the bottom. Whatever's most comfortable for you. Try and keep both shoulder blades on the mat. All right, very slowly bring those knees back to center, and at this time, take any last stretches that are calling your name. Anything at all that your body needs, move in any way you want. Before we meet in our final pose of class, Shavasana, I'll give you guys time, like 30 seconds to a minute, to get any last stretches in you need. Maybe a happy baby or plow pose. Whatever your body's calling for. And then we will meet in Shavasana, our final pose of class. All right, we'll meet in Shavasana. So let those legs go long down the mat. Roll your toes out to the side. Just let the feet roll out to the side. Toes fall over. Open. And then your hands can come to the mat down by your side, palms face up. Or left hand to your heart, right hand to your belly. Tuck your chin just a little bit down towards the chest. Make sure your neck is nice and tall still. And softly begin to close the eyes. Dedicating the next 3 minutes to yourself, finding a bit of meditation in Shavasana. I invite you to observe your thoughts but not think. Do not be the thinker, just the observer. And welcome to Shavasana. Invite some movement back into your body by wiggling the fingers and toes. Maybe rock the head side to side, inviting life back into the body. Maybe lifting your little lips to a smile, soft smile. And then you'll take your hands overhead like it's the first stretch of the day. And then roll over onto your favorite side using your arm as a pillow. Right side for grounding, left side for energizing. And in this space, remembering that you can take this practice of yoga off the mat with you into the other 23 hours of the day. And especially in this time that we're living in. Remembering that this is not happening to us, it's happening for us. Always finding the silver lining. And then push yourself up into a comfortable seated position. We'll meet facing the camera, sitting on our sit bones. And we'll take one last inhale together. Bring those hands overhead, fingertips to touch like you're collecting a ball of energy between the palms. And then bring it down to your third eye center. Hands prayer position, thumbs at your forehead. For in this space, we are all connected. I honor each and every one of you. Thank you for sharing space with me today, even though it's a virtual space. Namaste.